Kia ora, Tony Wood here, the minister at Johnsonville United Church, with this week's devotional thought for you. I can remember when I was somewhere around the age of 8 and my parents went away on an overseas trip and they came back and they brought me back a t-shirt, plain blue colour, something like this, and all it had on it were the words, "My parents went to Paris and all they brought me back was this t-shirt." And it was obviously all the rage for parents who went overseas at the time to do, because I remember one friend who had a red one, which had Montreal on it, and I had another friend who had a brown one that had Abu Dhabi on it. All you got was a t-shirt, which it was a great marketing campaign because it got all the parents to buy them. But as a child of about 8, it was always a bit of a letdown, and I was never that impressed with it. I was reminded of that t-shirt this week because of this one that I'm wearing, which I'll get to in a moment. But I heard an interview this week with an extremely wealthy New Zealander in his 80s who is still working 40 to 60 hours a week, managing his rental property portfolio. And the interviewer said, "Why do you still do it? Surely you have enough to just be happy and at peace." And the man honestly replied, "I always feel like I need to just get that little bit more." Now, this t-shirt was given to me as a present from a family member that went on a trip around the Greek islands a couple of years ago to Corfu and Santorini. And in Greek, it says, "I don't hope for anything. I am not afraid of anything. I am free." And it's a fairly recent and modern Greek philosopher's retake on a very famous passage in the Bible in Philippians 4, where Paul said, "I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances, whether I am in need or have plenty, whether I am hungry or starving, and I can do this through Christ who strengthens me." Paul's point is that true peace and contentment doesn't come from the circumstances of our lives, but for him and for us, it can come out of our relationship with God. Our relationship with God and faith in God, if we give it its proper place, will be enough to sustain us, lift us up, and guide us through anything. Remembering, of course, that St. Paul endured riots and shipwrecks that threatened his life. And also he lived with an illness and disability that he refers to in his writings. His point is that if we let our faith in God be the central thing through which we live, it will carry us and give us peace and contentment that we might otherwise miss out on, but it will hold us and strengthen through all of life. God bless you. Have a great weekend.